Hello, Mr. Bernie.
Good evening, sir. How are you today?
Fine, Mr. Bernie, and you?
Very good. Well, today I'm doing real well, but it is a super rainy day and it's very cold. How about for you?
Actually, this week is the what's the name of it? A minute. I've Leukemia Foundation Day for kids,
I see. Yeah.
and it's a little bit. The school's passing from this a little bit, and
Yeah.
on the other hand, I go to school. Our quizzes have started
Okay.
yet, and we are doing the leucemia.
Okay.
On the other hand, I don't do more things.
Okay. Now I see, is the pin that you've got, is that for
Yeah.
leukemia?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Good for you. Good for you. And
Thanks.
I know you go to the gym quite often. How is your working out going?
Actually, it's fine. Uh, how could I say? I'm going uh 4 days in weeks
Okay.
because of the other crushes and the other things. And on the other hand, when I go, it takes a hour from me,
Okay.
and it's like I try to do the best that I can do.
Now, when you work out, what do you do? Are you lifting, running, doing
Uh,
what?
Actually, I'm doing running as well, but
Uh-huh.
mostly I'm doing running when I wake up on Saturdays
Yeah.
after I
Okay.
go course and after I done my uh, jobs. I'm going to park that's right there, and I'm doing 10 tours around it, and
Uh-huh.
I'm coming back home.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're working out. I think exercise is a great thing. Rezan, before we started, I wanted to just remind you, you know that in the United States, our time changes twice a year.
Yeah.
And the next time change is next Sunday, which is the 2nd. So when I see you next Monday on November 3rd, your time will have changed a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So just make, I noticed that the week we changed time, a lot of people missed their class. I don't know. I think they're so used to one time that when it changes, they forget that it's going to be a little bit different next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Last time that we talked, you and I talked about the word valiant and valiantly. So here it was as an adjective, and then by adding ly, it became an adverb. What do you remember about valiant and valiantly?
Valiant. It's some say it's for someone
Hmm.
that's uh like when you do something
Hmm.
um that's once valiantly. How could I explain it? Um, the things that are bravely is valiantly,
Right, right, right,
and the valiant is the brave person.
right, right. Very good. You do remember. That was good remembering. Very good. All right. Now, today, before I teach you this word, I want to take a second and give an example. I know you were my student last year at Christmas time. And do you remember that I took a break at Christmas time?
Yeah.
So I will not be teaching on Christmas Day. And after Christmas Day, my wife and I are taking our children and their husbands and our grandchildren to an island in Florida, and I'll be gone for 10 days. So
Okay.
I am taking a break of 10 days,
Okay.
but I want to show you a special word. This word is pronounced hiatus,
I
hiatus. Okay. And I'm going to put it in the chat. Okay. It is a noun and it means a break, a stopping, a vacation with the idea that it is temporary.
Yes.
Okay. So when you take a hiatus, and that's what we say, we usually say take a hiatus, and sometimes we say go on a hiatus. Okay. And when we say those words, we say it with the idea that eventually the hiatus will end and you will be back. So I could say to you, I am going on a hiatus for Christmas. I will be back on January 4th.
Okay.
And that's what a hiatus is. Now, just a strange thing about the word hiatus. When you were younger in English, you learned that when you have two vowels right next to each other, usually you hear one of them and the other one is silent. Like the word boat, boat. I know that boat has an A in it, but I don't hear it. The A is silent. Hiatus is unusual because you hear the I and you hear the A. And that doesn't happen very often. Usually one of them will be silent, but here it is not. So hiatus. So I remember when you took a hiatus of a few days, and didn't you and your sister go to a camp or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then you went to Martin.
Yes.
And you took a hiatus when you went to Martin, right? And so that also would be hiatus. Now, I wanted to do one other word for you because this one is not as common as hiatus, but it's a great word to know. Okay? Neophyte. Neophyte.
Okay. Neophyte.
Now, this comes from Greek, and in Greek, neo meant new. Okay?
Okay.
And futon meant plant, and that is a noun, plant. So this is not plant like put something in the ground. This is plant like a tree is a plant, grass is a plant. Okay. So neophyte originally meant a new plant. Now it means this.
New person.
So your school. How long have you been in your school?
For 1.5 years.
Okay. Last year, you were the neophyte.
Yeah.
It was your first year at the school. Maybe on the first day of school, you were a little bit nervous, right? Okay.
Yeah.
On the first day, and you are a neophyte. Okay. Now, here's another thing. Let's suppose next year your school says, we are going to start a baseball team. You've never played baseball. You don't know anything about baseball, but you think to yourself, I like exercise. I like athletics. I'm going to try it. You would be the neophyte because you haven't done it before, but you're going to try it. So neophyte used to mean new plant. Now it means new person.
Okay, I understand it.
Okay. Have you ever been now I know about school, but have you ever been a neophyte at something?
At the violin course.
Ah, very good. That's good thinking. Okay. I remember 6 years ago, I was a neophyte at Cambly. My first week, I didn't do a very good job my first week. I accidentally, ended the class too early. I accidentally did the volume wrong. My camera didn't connect. Now I'm not a neophyte and I find it very easy. But those first few days, I don't want to remember those first few days. They weren't very good. Okay. All right. My young friend, I want to take today. Okay. And, okay. I was hoping it wouldn't do this, but let me see here. Okay. All right. Do you remember last time we talked about the planet Saturn and it had some spots on it? And I said, those were the transits of one of Saturn's moons.
Yeah.
Now, if you were on Saturn and you were looking up at the moon, it would be an eclipse.
Yes.
Looking at it the other way, it's called a transit. Now, this is a picture, and I found out this happens about once every 13 years. It doesn't happen that often. When
Oh,
looking at the sun from Earth, Mercury passes in front of the sun. So look at this picture that's taken, and you'll see tiny Mercury pass in front of the sun. Okay, now they call that Mercury transiting the sun.
it's so fast and
Yeah.
small.
Now, I did the reading and I found out something interesting. It really takes 5.5 hours.
Oh,
So going from left to right in reality takes 5.5 hours. But they sped this up because you don't want to watch this for 5.5
yeah.
hours. So they sped it up to 13 seconds. Another thing that's very interesting, when this picture was taken, and let me look in this and see when it was taken. December of 2019, so about 6 years ago, almost 6 years ago. Do you notice that there are no sunspots?
Yeah.
And so it was taken during a period when the sun was surprisingly quiet, calm, and peaceful.
Yes.
Okay, so Mercury transits the sun. All right. And today also, I want to go on to Rachel and what Rachel has to say. And do you know this word by any chance?
Couch.
Okay, let's listen. Let's listen. You'll figure it out. Okay. Okay. So Rachel is teaching this word because it has two G's in it. One is
Yes.
hard and the other is soft. Now, do you understand what I mean when I say a hard
Yeah.
G and a soft G?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first G here, gauge, is hard. Okay. So this is a hard G. Okay. And then this is the soft G. Okay.
Okay.
Now, usually when there's a soft G, it's GE, GI, or GY. When it's a hard G, it's GA, like in this word, or GO, or GU.
Okay. I
Okay.
understand that.
This is not 100% true, but generally that's what happens. Now,
Okay.
Rachel, teacher Rachel, was using gauge as a verb. Gauge means when you try to guess or try to make a decision. So if I said to you, Rezan, I will be flying into the airport in Istanbul and then coming on a bus to your house. How long do you think that would take? And you might think and say, well, I gauge it would take 10 hours or something.
Okay.
Okay.
I understand.
It's kind of like estimating.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to write here gauge verb, and that it's kind of like estimate. Gauge can also be a noun, and I would rather show you what gauge is a noun. These are gauges.
Oh.
Okay. So
Okay.
this gauge looks like it's a gauge for air pressure.
Yes.
Okay. I saw a picture here. These are the kind of gauge on your car. How fast you're going, how much gasoline is in the car, things like that. So all of these are different kinds of gauges. Oh, these are car gauges. So now
Yeah.
How old do you have to be to drive in Turkey?
18.
So you're 15?
Yes.
Are you going to get your driver's license in 3 years?
Actually, I'm thinking to get a motorcycle. That's why, actually, there isn't any age for riding motorcycle.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
I
Okay.
think I will take in a year or in maximum 2 years.
Okay. Okay. So these gauges, this gauge right here, of course, shows how fast you're going, how many rotations per minute, and how fast you're going. This one, that might be fuel. One of them is connected to the battery to show how powerful your battery is and if the battery is working right. So that would be another meaning of gauge, is that kind of thing. Now, Rezan, I'm curious, if I write gauge in here, what is that in Turkish?
Ölçü.
What is it though?
Ölçü is something like the much that something like when we say the I'm gonna say Turkish su ölçüsü, it means that water, how much water should we take for
Right.
something.
Right. And that's kind of like the first one is gauges to estimate. You're wondering how much water you should use. Okay, very good. That was good. I was glad you said that. That was good. All right. Let's look at the end. And this might be the last day we look. Well, we're going to spend 2 more days on this. We've been talking about growing plants in space. And remember that this is a very important thing because astronauts want fresh food. You
Yes.
don't want stuff that always comes out of a box or a can or something. Ugh, you want something fresh. So remember that they did this experiment growing red cabbage, which is kind of funny. Red romaine lettuce, I should say, red lettuce. And they're just learning some things about what this would be like. So here are their findings. Now, they found 4 things. How about if you read the first and the third, and I'll read the second and the fourth?
Okay.
We found,
Okay. Results. We found frequently. Am I read it
yes,
correct?
that's right, frequently, frequently.
Greater numbers of bacteria and fun- fun-
Fungi.
fungi on ISS growth levels. Similar
Similar,
number.
I'll read number 2. Similar numbers of bacteria and fungi on roots, regardless of where they were grown.
Our lettuce at all tastes negative for E. coli and
Salmonella.
Salmonella. Sorry.
A higher diversity of bacteria and fungi on the roots than on the leaves of our lettuce. Rizan, I don't want to go into a whole lot of details, but if you eat food that has E. coli and salmonella, you'll be spending a lot of time in the bathroom, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't want to eat that. Okay. Would you read we did not find?
We did not find any differences in nutrients content between ISS growth lattice and growth grown lattice. There were some differences in nutrients between the crops we grew in different years.
So I would call that the good news, that the nutrients were about the same. If you grow them on the ground or grow them on the space station, it's about the same. But some of this news is a little bit negative. What did you notice that's negative?
Maybe some other bad vitamins or the vitamins that must be in this vegetable aren't in there or in there.
Yeah, and they did say sometimes there were some differences in nutrients. I was a little concerned about this. I wonder why the leaves grown in the space station had more bacteria and more fungi. Okay, just 1 second here. You see what fungi is?
Yeah.
Okay, and you, except for mushrooms, you don't want food with a lot of fungi.
Yes.
I really wonder why on earth would the space station have more? I can't get my head around that. I can't think of why that would be. All right, but for now, let's go on. All right, we'll move over here. Okay, so here, figure 2. Which location had more bacteria and fungus on red romaine lettuce leaves? The ISS, all 3 times it has
Yeah.
more bacteria and fungus. On the ground, all 3 times it had less. I wonder why that is. Would you read the explanation for figure 2?
A number of bacteria grown in the lab from red romaine lettuce leaves. The Y-axis uses a long 10 logarithmic scale with which makes it easier to display a very large range of values.
Very good, very good. That was a good job. You did that. So next week we'll continue this, but so we see good things. The nutrients are about the same.
Yeah.
They're both nutritional. The bad thing is why more bacteria and more fungi? That one confuses me. I'm not sure about that. Okay, we have, let's see, 7 minutes. Good. You did really well. You worked
Thanks.
very fast. Okay. Now, we were reading about a boy named Brian. Brian is 13 years old.
Yes.
Brian is going on a trip to visit his father. He has a secret he doesn't want to tell anybody about, and it has something to do with divorce. So Brian's parents have had a divorce. They no longer live together. He lives with his mother, and his father is far away in Canada. And he is flying to Canada to visit his father during the summer. Okay.
Okay.
And the airplane engine is very loud. So he can't talk with the pilot. He's looking out the window. And while he's looking out the window, he feels very sad that his parents are no longer together. And it has something to do with a secret. So today we'll get a better idea of what that secret is. So I'm going to start well, how about this? Why don't you read this section and then I'll take over.
Okay. Secrets. Not secrets so much as just the secret. What he knew and holds not told anybody. What he knew about his mother and had caused this caused the
Caused the
divorce.
divorce.
What he knew, the secret, divorce, the secret.
Brian felt his eyes beginning to burn and knew there would be tears. He had cried for a time, but that was gone now. He didn't cry now. Instead, his eyes burned and tears came, the seeping tears that burned, but he didn't cry. He wiped his eyes with a finger and looked at the pilot out of the corner of his eye to make sure he hadn't noticed the burning and tears. Why is Brian starting to cry?
Because of his mother and father.
Right. So even though it is now already over, it already happened, it still hurts. So
Yeah.
Brian is in pain. Would you read the pilot sat?
Okay. The pilot sat large, his hands lightly on the wheel, feet on the rudder pedals. He seemed more a machine than a man, an extension extension of
Extension, right?
of the plane. On the dashboard in front of him, Brian saw dials, switches, meters, knobs, levels, cranks, lights, handles that were
Wiggling, shaking,
wiggling and flick cracking, all in the
indicating.
nothing that he understood, and the pilot screamed the same way. Part of the plane, not human.
Okay, so the pilot looks like he's part of the plane, like he's not even human. Okay, there's one word I want to teach you because it's going to be important later. Do you understand what pedals are?
Yeah.
What is a pedal?
The pedal is some like there is a gas pedal that's you
Very
can
good.
use on cars, and there is some other pedals that you use on planes, and
Right.
some pedals
So,
on bicycles.
see, I was going to show you this picture.
Yeah.
That's planes pedals, but you already know what that is. Good for you. Good for you. When he saw Brian look at him, the pilot seemed to open up a bit and he smiled. Ever fly in the co-pilot's seat before? He leaned over and lifted the headset off his right ear and put it on his temple, yelling to overcome the sound of the engine. Brian shook his head. He had never been in any kind of plane, never seen the cockpit of a plane, except in films or on television. It was loud and confusing. First time! So he's never been on a plane before. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you read what the pilot told him?
Um.
It's not.
Where is? Oh, okay. It's not as complicated as it looks. Good, a good plane like the almost flies itself. The pilot
Shrugged.
shrugged. Makes my job easy. He took Brian's left arm. He put put your hands on the controls, your feet on the rudder pedals, and I'll show you what I mean. The Brian shook his head. I'd better not.
So he actually picks up Brian's hand and puts it on the wheel. Try it. Just try
Yeah,
it. And Brian is a neophyte. He's never been on an
yeah.
airplane. And so he's, no, I better not.
Okay, yeah.
Would you try it or not?
I'm gonna try it, so why not?
I'm sorry, I clicked the wrong button. So I had asked you, would you try it?
Yeah,
You would?
yes,
I would too. I think it would be really cool. I think
yeah.
that would be really cool. I would love to try that. Now, once I try it, I might be nervous, yes, but I still want to try it.
It's exciting, actually.
Yes. All right. Exciting. I agree. It would be exciting. So we'll see what happens next week when Brian, if he gives it a try or if he doesn't give it a try, we'll see. So don't forget that next week, your time will be a little different than today.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Does it mean an earlier time or?
It's either a half hour earlier or a half hour later. I'm not sure which one.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna be
Ozan,
ready.
you did a super job today. I always enjoy working with you. Have
Thanks.
a good week. See you again
Goodbye.
soon.
See you.
Bye bye. Good night.